Alright guys, back again for one more video. I just want to talk about DBM and bigwigs because a lot of people use them, everyone uses them, but I don't think a lot of people have ever really customized bigwigs and or DBM in order to adapt how they're getting the information that they need to get, because sometimes you don't need everything that's in the default settings for bigwigs and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go through it and move around with the timers and whatnot to help everybody. So if you're using bigwigs, you'll type slash BW, or if it's DBM, slash DBM. And you will get a screen, an interface screen that allows you to change a bunch of different options. In bigwigs, it'll be toggle anchors, and I think in DBM it's something else. I'll pull DBM up because I have them both on here. But for bigwigs, you'll toggle anchors, and you can kind of move this off to the side, and you can see where everything's going to be. The big messages that flash whenever something's happening, I usually try to put up at the very top, along with the countdown, like right in the middle, so I make sure I don't miss it. And then smaller messages get put on top of my tune. I like to have all of like the long emphasized bars with like the main stuff that I need to keep up with the time, like over to the side, so it's out of my main focus. This is because when you're DPSing and whatnot, and dodging mechanics, you don't want it like right up in your grill so that you can't pay attention to the fight. You want to be able to look at it on the side. So I have them both down there. So the way to edit these, you can edit all of this stuff, by going to bars and changing all these fields, font size, yada, bar size, colors, all that. You can fit it to how you want. The only real thing I would change is where you have your main bars that show all the long cooldowns that are a few minutes away. You kind of want to keep track of them. You want to make sure that those are visible, so they're going to be bigger. They're going to be off to the side in a font that you can read, and in colors that aren't distracting or hard to see. The emphasized messages, I would say, are the most important. These are the messages, as soon as an action or a mechanic is happening at that instant, it'll flash up here, and that needs to be a bright color, any color that will grab your attention, something that you can see, and it needs to be in a large font that's just on your screen, and you're like, whoa, can't ignore that. Okay, that was a fire alarm. And then the countdown should probably be right here, but you can move it if it's really annoying you a lot. But that's basically how you mess with the bars. Another important thing to do is to go into bigwigs or DBM itself and go to the bosses and look at which mechanics you actually want to pay attention to, because in the default settings you're going to get everything. It's going to tell you everything that's happening, and you don't need to know that. So we're gonna go to the Gorfing fight, because that's what we're doing right now. And as you can see, it's 22 wipes on normal. So here are all the mechanics that you have to worry about. Every single mechanic, for each ad and everything. Okay, so for Gorefiend, he does these abilities. Now I have them all clicked because I have to deal with Gorefiend the whole time. For Touch of Doom, you want to be able to track all of these. But an important thing for these is sometimes you don't have to know when it's happening to other players. A lot of times in the default settings, you'll get messages come across your screen, such and such is affected by Shared Fate. Well, you don't need to know that if you're not affected by Shared Fate, unless you're a healer. Healers may need to know that. As DPS, you don't really, or if you're trying to save someone, it's good to know. But for us, it would probably be better for most of our DPS to take a look at Shared Fate and go into its different options, and to click only when on me. That way, all that you get whenever you get Shared Fate out here is you're going to get a message saying shared fate on you. But when someone else gets it, some other 3 random people, you're not going to get any message, and you're not going to have to worry about it. That way, that information is not going to you. Your brain's not having to process it. You don't have to worry about it, and you can keep DPSing the boss or doing whatever you're doing without having to say, whoa, for like half a second before you realize that you don't have to pay attention to it. And that's basically the same concept for all of those mechanics. Doomwell, you don't want to know if Oak has Doomwell on him. You only want to know when you have it. Stuff like that. Really, I guess a timer for Feast of Souls. So a countdown. So as soon as, like 5 seconds before Feast of Souls is going to go up, it'll display a countdown in your screen right here, or on your screen right here, and it'll start counting down. And then so okay, 5 seconds before that happens, you're gonna be tracking on that. It's gonna make sure it's gonna have an emphasized message, and it's gonna be have a countdown. Another really cool thing, because I didn't think that it would do this, but going through here for would be important for Savage Howl too. But let's see, going to Gorefiend. And then going down to these enraged spirits. Bellowing Shout. You go down here, and you can have it emphasized, and you have a countdown. I haven't tested this, but if this countdown works, it'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the ad will start casting his Bellowing Shout, which we have to interrupt every single one of them. So when that 5-second mark countdown comes on your screen, it says Bellowing Shout, that's automatically stop whatever you're doing, get ready to interrupt that. And that way there's no surprise. It helps you keep track of stuff, because I mean, if you have a timer over to the side of the screen for emphasized bars, I mean, you're busy during a fight, you may not see it, you're gonna miss it. So you need a countdown and emphasized messages. So let me pull up DBM and show you how it looks in there, but it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to disable bigwigs. And then go to DBM down here. Fuck it, I'll just go with all of them. Okay, so let's get into DBM real quick. /DBM. Alright, so same deal. Loading the add-on for that. And it'll give you the same type of options. And you can go to plus, and you can go to Gorefiend. It looks a little different. I kind of prefer the bigwig stuff. That's why I use it. You can go down to general announcements, yada yada. It's pretty much the same thing. Target announcements, announce shared fate targets with count. But you probably don't really care unless it's you. I don't know. I just, it has a different feel to it. I prefer bigwigs, but it's whatever you prefer. I don't see a countdown. Okay, here's a spoken alert for Bellowing Shout. I don't see a timer for Bellowing Shout though. That's interesting. Wait. Here we go. Special warning for Bellowing Shout. That'll flash a warning on the top of your screen for Bellowing Shout. But yeah, so you can go in through here and you can look at the different options and what you can check to to get special warnings and stuff like that. The way that you would go to set up all your stuff, go to bar setup, raid warnings, stuff like that. It's highly customizable, but you can. Where's the test? Start test bar. Okay, so here's test mode. This is what it would actually look like on my screen during a fight, which it looks horrible. I have this right where my class information is horrible, but if I wanted to change this, I would go back to options, bar setup, move me, and I would move the bars somewhere where I wanted them. Obviously, I don't want that right there because that kind of sucks. I don't want to see that. So maybe have those right there. Move this down there so that I can see it. It's right next to my view, and that's like the emphasize. Here's your countdown. Bam. And it'll right in the middle. It'll show you, okay, something's going on. You need to interrupt that. Okay, so here's a mechanic that's going to happen in 10 seconds. Bam. Okay, and you can customize all that. So yeah. I hope that helped. It wasn't very in depth with like customizing bars and whatnot, but just play. The best thing to do is play around with it and see what fits for you. But anyways, thanks guys. Let me know if you have any questions.